Good day, class. So this is your Muppet Time with me, and I am your teacher, Miss Yvonne Krishna Rosete, Teacher 1 at Santa Rosa National High School. Today, we will be discussing one of the learning components of MAPE, which is health. But before we proceed to our discussion, let us offer this day to the Lord through a simple prayer. Father, we come before you today. We ask for your guidance and protection. Give us strength and heavenly wisdom, and may your Holy Spirit be upon us. This all we ask in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Since we do not have the chance to meet face to face, I would not call it classroom rules, but rather house rules. So I have prepared 3 house rules that you need to follow while watching this video. Number 1 is you need to prepare yourself. You need to be physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared. And number 2 is you need to prepare your learning paraphernalia. So get your modules now, your notebooks or papers, ball pens or pens, or anything that is available in your homes that you will use in taking down notes. And number 3, the last, is be attentive and avoid multitasking, so that you will be able to grasp all the things that I will be talking this entire video. So are we clear on that? Okay, very good. So at the end of this video lesson, you are expected to define community and environmental health. Number 2, explains how a healthy environment positively impacts the health of people and communities. Number 3, discusses the nature of environmental issues. Number 4, analyzes the effects of environmental issues on people's health. And lastly, suggests ways to manage environmental health issues. But before we proceed to our discussion proper, let us have first an activity. Are you familiar with the game 4 Picks 1 Word? Of course. So the mechanics of this game is that I will show 4 pictures, and those pictures are associated with one word. And what will you gonna do is that guess that word by arranging the letters below that picture. So, understood? Let us now start. So, I will give you 5 seconds to answer. This is number 1. Very good. That is community. So, this is the next one. Very good. That easy, right? It is environment. What about the last one? Very good. It is easy to understand. So it is health. So you have just unlocked the keywords that we will be discussing in this session. So very good, students. So let us now discuss and analyze. And our topic for today is community and environmental health. So let us first define what is health. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just by the absence of illness or diseases in our body. Understood, class? Okay, let us now start defining what community is. Community is identified as a sociological group in a large place sharing one environment. It therefore includes the individual and the family. So, an example of a community is the barangay where you are living now. Okay? So, next one is community health. It is defined as the art and science of maintaining, protecting, and improving the health of all the members of the community through organized and sustained community efforts. And lastly, environmental health. It comprises those aspects of human health that are determined by physical, chemical, biological, social, and psychosocial factors in the surrounding environment. Did you get it, class? Very good. According to the World Health Organization, the characteristics of a healthy community includes: number 1 is a clean and safe physical environment. Of course, any one of us wants a clean environment. a clean surroundings because it will help us also to relax. Am I right? Number 2, an environment that meets everyone's basic needs. And number 3, an environment that promotes social harmony and actively involves everyone. Of course, we want to live in a place where everyone cooperates, where everyone is actively participating, because it will also help us in our social well-being. Number 4, an understanding of local health and environment issues. Next, a community that participates in identifying local solutions to local problems. Next, a community whose members have access to varied experiences, means of interaction, and communication. Next one, accessible and appropriate health services and facilities. Next one is the promotion and celebration of historical and cultural heritage. Next, a diverse and innovative economy. And lastly, a sustainable use of available resources for all. Now that you have encountered the concepts of community and environmental health, and for me also to make sure that you are still watching and actively participating in this video lesson, I would like you to post on your Facebook at least 3 words that describes a healthy community. So use our official hashtag, #MapeTakeaway. So I would like to see your post and I will read them later on. So let us go now with primary healthcare programs in the community by starting with maternal health care. So it is given during prenatal, natal, and postnatal. So basically, this maternal health care is given to the pregnant women. So when we say prenatal, it is before giving birth, and natal is during birth, and postnatal is after giving birth. Understood? Right. And next one is child health care. It is through immunizations, control of diarrheal diseases. Way back in our childhoods, we have undergone lots of immunizations through vaccinations. And one of the proofs that we have undergone vaccinations is our scar in our arms, because the vaccination itself helps us to fight sickness when we are still kids. Next one, we have nutrition program. So it is through Operation Timbang and food supplementation. Just like in our schools, during nutrition programs, we give free meals to those students who are underweight. And the next one is the population and family planning program. So free family planning. It is nice that during your early age, at your age right now, you are being educated with this family planning program so that you will be able to know what to do when you will have your family in the future. And it is not new to us that Philippines is one of the overpopulated countries. Okay. Next, we have control of communicable diseases like tuberculosis control program. And it is very timely that we have this COVID-19, which is a type of communicable disease, because it can pass through our hands, it can enter our eyes, in our nose, and in our mouth. So we are required to wear our masks, our face shields, and we are required to have an alcohol in our bags when we go out and spray it when we have to touch something. We also have environmental sanitation program. It is the inspection of food establishments and fumigation. Just like in our school, we do fumigation so that the mosquitoes will not thrive in our schools, especially in our classrooms. Understood? Alright. We also have control on non-communicable diseases through blood pressure screening. And also we have dental health program. It is the tooth extraction. And next is medical morbidity, or it is the provision of free medicine. And lastly, the national voluntary blood services, or through bloodletting activities at barangay levels. And we also have epidemiology and surveillance program. It is controlling outbreaks like dengue. And we also have disaster management preparedness program and the medical services assistance during disasters. And second to the last is our mental hygiene. So adolescent counseling centers. And lastly, pharmacy services. It is the distribution of medicines to all health centers. So for the information of everybody, everything that I have said must be made available for free in your community because they are subsidized by government to ensure that your health is being protected. So understood? Very good. Let us now go to community and environmental health problems. But first, let us define what is community health problem is. So a community health problems are common nowadays with the rise in modern technology, where people neglect the importance of the basic needs for safety. A safe environment will ensure quality of life that will lead to more productive citizens of the country. This lesson will help you understand that one environment is threatened by human activities and that you have a role in wiping out community health problems. So as you can see in the diagram, it is very evident that a lot of things is directed to community health problems. Although different perennial problems happen to different regions of the country, they vary according to factors like economy, politics, geography, culture, and social context. There are places which experience community health problems like this one, the waterborne and communicable diseases. So as you can see, it is not safe to drink the water. We also have armed conflicts. So one of the example is in Mindanao. They create lots of conflicts and to the point that they use arms to harm each other. We also have natural disasters like earthquake, floods, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. We also have highly urbanized zones. So, as what I have said a while back, that Philippines has been one of the most overpopulated countries. So, what do you expect? Obviously, we will create more buildings and lots of vehicles will be used. And lastly, this is what I'm talking about, the overpopulated areas. Let us move on to solid waste management program. In this regard, the government has created an office which would be in charge of planning and implementing rules and regulations to address the above-mentioned community health problems. One of its program is solid waste management program that helps lessen the amount of refuse in our country. So when we say refuse, these are dump or food waste or discarded materials of our country. So I will give you examples of some refuse materials in our country, and I bet that you have already an idea what these are. So let's take a deeper look at its focus of concern. So let us start with garbage. So garbage are the waste from preparation, cooking and serving food, market wastes, waste from handling. An example of it is plastic bag or paper bag. So where does this garbage came from? So it came from our households, restaurants, institutions, stores, and markets. We also have rubbish. So there are two types of rubbish. These are combustible and non-combustible. So when we say combustible, it means that these are materials that are able to catch fire and burn easily. And of course, non-combustible is the other way around of the meaning of combustible. So let us have this. Combustible. It is combustible because it is made of paper. It is a box, a wood, and a paper. Now, it's obviously non-combustible, the cans, the broken glasses, or the glasses. Okay. We also have ashes, of course. These are the residue from fires used for cookings and heating and from on-site incinerations. Alright. Understood? Very good. Let us proceed to street refuse. So, it is through sweepings, dirt, leaves, catch basin dirt, contents of litter receptacles. Alright. We also have dead animals like cats, dogs, horses, cows, pigs, and the most popular that we can see along the streets or in the streets are the dogs and cats that are being hit by a car or a motorcycle. We also have abandoned vehicles. Alright. These are vehicles that are already ruined or destroyed. We also have industrial wastes. These came from food processing wastes, boiler house cinders, lumber scraps, metal scraps, something like that. So that is industrial wastes. We also have demolition waste. Okay, it comes from lumber, pipes, bricks, masonry, and other construction materials come from raised buildings and other structures. So demolition is done to create new building or to renovate something. Alright? We also have special waste. These are hazardous solids and liquids like explosives, pathological wastes, radioactive materials, and batteries. So when we say pathological waste, these are waste and it is a subcategory of biohazardous waste. It is typically originates from surgical procedures or research that involves removal of organs, tissues, or body parts. So pathological waste can be human or animal. Alright. We also have sewage treatment residue. So these are solids from coast screening and from breath chambers, or in other words, from this area. This is a septic tank sludge. Alright. Did you get it, class? Very good. So, here's more for your memory bank. So, garbage refers to the leftover vegetables, animals, fish, and other food materials from the kitchen and establishments, while rubbish are waste materials such as bottles, broken glass, tin cans, waste papers, discarded porcelainwares, pieces of metals, and other wrapping materials. And dead animals are lifeless dogs, cats, rats, pigs, chicken, and other animals which die from disease or accidents. Did you get it? Very good. Let us start with solid waste management refers to the discipline associated with the control of generation, storage, collection, transfer and transport, processing, and disposal of solid waste. So, waste disposal is the proper disposal of discarded or discharged materials in accordance with local environment guidelines or laws. The preceding of definition of solid waste states in accordance with the best principles of public health, economics, engineering, conservation, aesthetics, and public attitude. Understood, class? Very good. So, the solid waste is composed of the following: the composable, recyclable, non-composable, and non-recyclable, and the special waste, which is the hazardous household waste like syringes and body fluids. Okay, so according to RA 9003, there are many ways to do solid waste management. A highly recommended formula is to adopt the 3 R's of ecological waste management, which are the reuse, reduce, and recycle. And in addition, let us refrain from doing what has been prohibited under the law, and this include littering, throwing, dumping of waste materials in public places like roads, sidewalks, canals, steros, parks, and establishments. Number 2 is open burning of solid waste. Number 3, allowing the collection of non-segregated or unsorted waste. And next is squatting in open dumps and landfills. Next one is the open dumping or burning of biodegradable and non-biodegradable materials in flood-prone areas. We also have the unauthorized removals of recyclable materials intended for collection by authorized persons. Next one is mixing of source-separated recyclable materials with other solid waste in any vehicle, box, container, or receptacle used in solid waste collection or disposal. We also have manufacture, distribution, or use of non-environmentally acceptable packaging materials like plastics. And second to the last is the establishment or operation of open dumps. And lastly, the importation of consumer products packaged in non-environmentally acceptable materials. So, that is for community health problems. Now, we proceed to environmental health problems. So, let us go to environmental health problems. And number 1 is the deforestation, ang pagpuputol ng mga punong kahoy. So, the Philippines is among the countries with the fastest loss of forest covers around the world. And for the information of everybody, our dearest country ranks 4th among the world's top 10 most threatened forest hotspots. And deforestation is the destruction of big areas of forest. And if the 157,400 hectares per year rate of deforestation continue, our remaining forest cover will be wiped out in less than 40 years. So, kung hindi mapipigilan ang pagpuputol ng mga puno, then mas mabilis tayong mabaha, mas maraming mamamatay, and more cases of landslide yung mangyayari. We also have number 2, the flash flood. Okay, a flash flood is a sudden flood of great volume, usually caused by a heavy rain. So, illegal logging is another factor believed to have contributed to the staggering death toll in the cities of Ilagan and Cagayan de Oro during Sendong 2011. So, if you have remembered that Typhoon Sendong, so many victims were swept away by huge logs that rolled down the nude mountains facing the two cities. Ayan. We also have illegal mining. So, here's for your memory bank. So, we have the Mining Act of 1995 aimed to help the domestic mining industry regain its competitiveness by allowing companies / contractors to obtain an exploration permit for a specific area for up to 4 years. Ayan. So, illegal mining is defined as the extraction of valuable minerals or other geological Okay, we also have illegal mining. So, here's for your memory bank. We have a Mining Act of 1995 aimed to help the domestic mining industry regain its competitiveness by allowing companies / contractors to obtain an exploration permit for a specific area for up to 4 years. Okay, so illegal mining is defined as this extraction of valuable minerals or other geological materials from the earth from a rock body, lode, vein, Seam or reef, which forms the mineralized package of economic interest to the miner in the absence of land rights, mining license, exploration or mineral transportation permit, or any document that could legitimate the ongoing operation. Alright. We also have soil erosion. Ayan. Soil erosion means when soil and rock are moved from one place to another by wind, water, and gravity. So, the causes of soil erosion is number 1, deforestation, number 2, building of roads, number 3, agriculture, number 4, urbanization, and number 5 is mining. Did you understand it, class? We also have coral reef degradation. So, coral reef degradation is a significant problem throughout the world. So, not only in the Philippines, but all throughout the globe. So, according to Gardner, it has been acknowledged that 27% of the world's reefs has been affected. So, it is stated that 11% has been completely lost. So, 11% is nawala na. Totally na nawala na. So, and another 16% has been damaged. So, damaged na pwede pang masolusyonan if kaya. Ayan. So, coral reefs are diverse underwater ecosystem built from calcium carbonate secreted by corals. Coral reefs can be categorized into the following coral covers estimate through line intercepts transect method. So, merong category ang coral reef degradation. So, in category 1, poor ang performance or poor ang label if the coral reef is with less than 0 to 10% coral cover. And category number 2 is fair when the coral reef is with 11 to 30% coral cover. And number 3, it is labeled as good if the coral reef is with 31% to 50% coral cover. And category number 4 is very good if the coral reefs is with 51% to 75% coral cover. And lastly, category number 5 is excellent if the coral reef is with 76 to 100 coral cover. So, did you get it? Oh, very good. So, here is what you need to know. We have environmental law, the pollution control. It is all about battling pollution in the Philippine setting. So, the following are pertinent laws adhering to the environmental safety and health protection. So, we have PD 389, or also known as PD 705. It is the Forestry Reform Code, codifies, updates, and raises forestry laws in the country. It emphasizes the sustainable utilization of forest resources. We also have PD 704. It is the preservation of optimum productivity of fishery resources through conservation and protection. Another is PD 1219 or PD 1219, providing for the protection of coral ecosystems. We also have PD 1067, the Water Code of the Philippines, adopts adequate measures to conserve and regulate the use of water in commercial, industrial, and residential areas. It also provides other policy guidelines on water quality and management of water resources. Another, we also have PD 463, amended the Mining Act of 1936. Requires all mining leaseholders to comply with pollution control laws and regulations and provide for penalties for non-compliance. We also have PD 1251. Imposes fines on tailings and mine wastes, and the fund generated is used to pay for the damages to land, agriculture crops, forest products, aquatic resources, and other infrastructures caused by pollution for mining operations. We also have PD 984, the Pollution Control Law. Another is PD 825, prohibits the improper disposal of garbage. We also have PD 856, the Sanitation Code, places the responsibility on the local government units for the solid waste management in the area of production. And lastly, RA 8749, the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, which provides for a comprehensive air pollution control policy. We also have PMA, the Philippine of Medical Association, and the PNRC, Philippine National Red Cross, and also with DILG, the Department of Interior and Local Government. So with NNC, the National Nutrition Council. So with NEDA, the National Economic and Development Authority. And the PHA, the Philippine Hospital Association. And lastly is the DO, the very famous DO, Department of Health. Alright, so there are existing Philippine laws that will protect our environment from external factors. Okay, to name a few: Philippine Clean Air Act, Philippine Water Act, and Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. So these are laws that are implemented to protect our government. So did you get it, class? Alright. So in this video lesson now, you have learned the importance of having a healthy community, thus leading to the safety of every individual. So the concept of having an ideal community in the promotion of environmental health. There are dangers around if we continue to live threatening our surroundings. So in fact, we have been embedded through a series of natural phenomena. So damages are more obvious. But there are suggested activities that will guide you, students, to be actively participating in the said programs of the government, but we cannot participate during these times because of this pandemic. So let us wait until this pandemic ends. Okay, so by this you can assess, even you can have your own little way to make a big difference. So for me to know that you have watched the entire video, I would like you again to post on your Facebook your answer in this question. So as a student, what ways can you suggest to manage environmental health issues? So do not forget to use our official hashtag #MapetikAway. Ayan. So that's it for our Health 9 for the first quarter. So I hope everyone is safe and study well. I know that you can do it. Viva grade 9. Bye-bye.